Hi everyone, trying something different again today. Today is Tuesday, the 14th of April, and I am back for Floss Tube video number 65, maybe, something like that. Trying to do these about once a week, give or take, and I'm back today because I have a whole new outlook, let's say, on my cross stitch, on my crafting, let's put it that way. You're up on a little tiny, it's like a little miniature dresser made out of cigar boxes, and I had sent a picture to my girlfriend Colleen this morning of something else, and she said, oh, that little shelf is cute, what do you keep in there? And I opened all the drawers and took pictures of the valuables that I have in there, the junk I have in the drawers. Anyway, how is everybody today? It is a bright and shiny day here in Nebraska, and it's cold. We had snow this weekend. Easter was, I think the real temperature was 32 and the feel like was 19. Yesterday it may have gotten up to 45, but the wind chill kept us in the 30s. Brian and I went for a walk with one of the dogs around the lake. Maddie ran with Bindi in the afternoon, so we didn't take her. But we went for a walk with Baxter around the lake, which is about 2.5 miles to go completely around both lakes. And it was nippy. I did not wear a hat. I typically do not wear hats, and I regretted it. My ears were cold, but anyway, yeah, I have lots to show you today, and I think I can now do videos longer than 15 minutes, so I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully I won't be more than 30 minutes, though. So let's just get started. First of all, I wanted to show you, because I know that she'll never do videos, I wanted to show you some finishes by my sweet friend Colleen that I'm getting ready to FFO for her, just in pillows. And keep in mind now, would you, I kind of feel like you have gotten to know Colleen just through my videos a little bit, but she's just a phenomenal cross stitcher, rug hooker, crafter of all sorts. And keep in mind when you see this is a gift. She stitched this for somebody else. I'm guessing this is a Brenda Gervais. I'm pretty sure it is a Brenda Gervais, maybe called December 25th. I need to repress it. She gives me everything all pressed and rolled up on a paper towel roll with batting on it, but it got a little bit crinkled in the transportation. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at her white stitches on that snowman. They're perfection. She stitches in a hoop. Yeah, just woof, gorgeous. So that's a gift. It's not for me, but I don't want to complain because she's given me some really sweet things. And then she's been doing the wordplay series for, I think she's making 2 of each, one for herself and one for her daughter. And I'm not sure which these are for, but there's October. Super, super cute. And then she has also July. I think July might be the one that she's giving her daughter. I'm not sure. Isn't that cute? I've done that one. It's one of my favorite ones ever. I did July. I think July may have been one of the first word plays I ever did. And I did it back when I didn't really know a whole lot about fabric. And I think I did it on a piece of 36 or possibly even 40. And it's really tiny. But I love it. But it's super, super tiny. So anyway, those are going to be finished this week into pillows, and she always provides me with fabric and finishing doodads to finish with. She also joined a finishing club, a Lady Dot creation. I think it's Lady Dot Finishing Club, and has been, she joined, I didn't join, she joined, and she's been providing me with the finishing packages that she gets every other month from there. And yeah, when she dropped those off, she dropped off a whole box of things, including a fully kitted up chart, a Halloween chart. She's something else. Okay, so, well, let me just look before I get into that. Let me one other little cute thing I want to show you. This was, you've heard me talk about my friend Deb O. Deb got me into rug hooking, actually, and she is going through treatment right now for breast cancer, and so we haven't been able to spend any time together because she's very immune compromised right now. I caught it early. I think she's just about finished with radiation treatments, and I think everything will be fine, but it's still just a huge bummer. And so we've been kind of doing exchanges on front porches and letting things quarantine and that sort of thing. And she made me this. She gave me a whole bag the other day that was supposed to be my Christmas. She was diagnosed right around Christmas, and we weren't able to celebrate Christmas or her birthday, which is in January. And so she brought over my Christmas items the other day, and this was something that she made me, and I don't know, it's prettier in person than here. It's just her stitching. Oh, perfection. So I have that on my desk, and that's I get to look at it every single day, every single day. Okay, so let's talk about my new outlook. I spent most of the day yesterday and part of this morning organizing and reorganizing my cross stitch stash. That stash includes the dog is chewing on a bone. That's what you're hearing there. I just wanted to make sure she didn't have a remote controller, which she has destroyed, I don't know, countless remote controllers. That's her new thing to steal and try to chew up as fast as she can before we catch her. My stash includes charts. It includes items kitted up. It includes items kitted up and started. Am I getting everything? So those three things. And it includes, I guess, items kitted up and started, works in progress. Okay. So those three things. And I have all of my charts cataloged in an Excel spreadsheet. And there are a lot. We're not going to talk numbers today. But I did not have my actual charts that were once they're in the Excel spreadsheet, they were just in a bin, not in any particular order. And then all of my whips and kitted up items also just in a bin, multiple bins. So I spent yesterday and this morning reorganizing. I broke my charts. Now this is just charts that haven't been, they may have been kitted but haven't been started. And I broke those out into kind of, I think, 5 or 6 different categories. So I did a Christmas category and I did a winter category because I have quite a few that I think, I could put up in like November and leave up until probably close to March. I mean, when you're still getting snow in April. We're supposed to have more snow on Thursday, so. So I have a winter category, a Christmas category, a spring category, which includes anything that's, overtly spring or Easter. And then I have kind of a 4th of July / summer category. So to get in that pile, it had to be, obviously 4th of July, Independence Day kind of thing. Or it had to be a summery thing with a flag, or, something that were red, white, and blue, that kind of thing. And then I have a fall category and a Halloween category. And then I have just a general category, which is, anything that doesn't kind of fall, that could be like a year-round chart, or just, flowers, or, just something that you would have up, you could have up at any point in time. Christmas is broken out into regular Christmas and ornaments. So I have kind of two subsets for Christmas. And then I have a category that's just samplers. I did not count how many items I have in each of those categories. I could sort on my Excel spreadsheet and figure out how much I have in each. I actually know I have a separate spreadsheet for samplers, and I think I have almost 70 samplers. Some are done. I mean, 70 includes a few that are finished and a couple that are very close. But in kind of going through everything and organizing everything, what really hit me, and this really happened, I organized my charts that weren't kitted up, weren't started first, and you know, it was pretty much what I expected. But then when I started to go through my, you know, project bags, I really felt very, I kind of felt ridiculous. That was the word that kept coming to mind. Like, this is ridiculous. This is, oh, here's another chart that, you know, you want to do so badly that you've started and that you worked on a pretty significant amount of time, and then you've put away and forgotten about it. So I kind of was talking to different people, Colleen being one, as I was going through this, and just saying, look, this, you know what, I have to get a handle on this, because if I got coronavirus and died tomorrow, or got hit by a bread truck, or, you know, whatever, if I suddenly was no longer in this world tomorrow and my family had to go through my stuff, it's pretty organized and it's pretty neat, but it's kind of ridiculous. And they're going to go through this and just think, why? Plus, there are charts that I absolutely love and want to do. So I did pull out probably less than 10 charts that I said, not interested in doing anymore. I will tell you that the combination of charts, kitted up, and started is a number just under 1,000. That is ridiculous. That's hoarding. I mean, that's hoarding. That's what that is. That there's no excuse for that. And so I probably got rid of less than 10 of those. One of the things that I'm going to do, I've decided, is I'm going to always give, you know, close friends first dibs. I did find quite a few duplicates. And so I've given Colleen first dibs on those duplicates. She picked the ones that she wanted, and then I will share with you guys those. But I also think I'm going to share some of the ones that I maybe have started and just have lost my luster for, or I just know that I won't finish them. You know, my style has changed. Whatever, you know, maybe it was a sal that I did just to do the sal and then didn't finish the chart, and now I'm not interested in the sal. Whatever, whatever. So I think at least through virus, I'm going to go ahead and do a giveaway each video of either a chart by itself or a chart kitted up and potentially already started. Just for this video, I'm just going to do duplicates, and there's just 2 left that that Colleen wasn't interested in, and I know I don't want to give to somebody else. And these were both duplicates, and they are both heart and hand. One is the summer whirligig, and one is the grow whirligig. So both of these. So these are going to go to one person. I will send them anywhere. Doesn't matter. Happy to mail them out. Actually, my husband's happy to mail them out. He does all our post office runs for us. So let's see. If you are interested and want to be entered to have either of those charts, let's have you say something about how you feel about your stash right now. You feel good with the way it is. You feel completely overwhelmed with the way it is. You feel like you need to do something completely different with the way it is. And then mention whirligig. And I'll just do random generator and pick a name, and I'll get those in the mail to you this week. let's say I'll give it until, I'll actually give it a week. So we'll give it until next Monday the 20th, and then I'll draw before I do the next video. So, okay, so after kind of sleeping on it and going through everything and figuring out what I wanted, I have decided to, one of the suggestions that was made to me actually by Dory was to pick charts that I was farthest along on, that would be the easiest to finish in the shortest amount of time, and work on those. And that's an excellent idea. The one downside to that is I know for a fact I'm not a monogamous stitcher. I know that I don't want to say I have ADHD, because that's a real thing, and I really don't think I have it, but I like some variety. Let's just put it that way. So I decided that I would pick mostly from things that I was farthest along on. And I went through every single bag, every single project bag, every single, some things are in Ziploc bags. I mean, every single thing. And I picked the things that I either really, really loved, or that I was pretty darn far along on to start with. And so I picked a sampler, one sampler to work on. I picked a summer / 4th of July project. I picked a fall project. I picked a Halloween project. I picked a winter project. I picked a Christmas project. And then I pulled 2 things out that I just kind of would like to work on every single day, maybe even if it's just for a little bit. And I feel like during this time, if I organize my time well, I could do a house project. I could even do laundry, whatever. And then that gives me enough time to stitch for several hours on something, plus maybe 30 minutes on one of these 2 things. So I picked Kringles to work on, just kind of at random, maybe a little bit every single day. And I picked a Redwork sampler to work on, just to kind of have in my stash, just to kind of have in my, box of goodies to pull from. Now I put everything into random or tiny decisions, the tiny decisions app on my phone, which is somewhere here, right in front of me. And I may use that to decide what to work on, or I may do a days of the week kind of thing, like Priscilla and Chelsea do, where on Wednesdays I work on Halloween, Witchy Wednesday. I don't know. I'll kind of go from there. For most things, I picked something for now, and then I also picked a backup project that once this is finished, then I'll work on that next. So I'm going to just show you kind of what I picked, and we'll kind of go from there. So, and these aren't in any particular order, just I did try to put everything in a nice project bag and kind of go from there. So the first thing is going to be the only new start. Now, the other thing with this is no more buying. No more buying. I'm sure that in 3 days there's going to be something that I'll see that I'll think, oh, I have to have that. Maybe not. Hopefully no more buying. And no more starting anything new. I mean, there really isn't. Now, there is something and I forgot. I also need to have my 2 sals in there as well. And so one is the Sisters sal, the Barbara Anna that I'm doing with Susie Reno, and the other one is Coffee First that I'm doing with Dory and Donna. And I'll try to work a little bit on each of those each day as well, or at least every other day. I only have a few days of stitching left on Sisters, quite a bit more on Coffee First, but we don't have a deadline for that one. So I am keeping those in my, what would the word be, repertoire of projects. But the only new start I have, and it's not a new chart, it's a chart I've had for a long, long time, is going to be the Prairie Schooler Starry Night. And this was a gift from a very, very sweet friend, I think 2 years ago now. And I've wanted to start this for forever. And anyway, I'm going to do this one. And this is actually going to be a gift for another So I'm doing this one, and that will be my only new start. So that's my Christmas. That will be my Christmas, and I have that all kitted up, and that only calls for like 5 colors, and so I always have to look out the window at the people walking their dogs. Okay, the next one, which kind of goes hand in hand with, has something to do with the friend that gave me Starry Night, and I always think of her when I pull it out. But the next one is Overstocking, and this is going to be my fall piece, and you've all seen it. Someone just finished this, and it's so gorgeous. Oh, I love it so much. So I love this. I always think I'm almost done with it, and I'm really not. I'm, you know, I have significant work done, but I'm not almost finished. So I have to finish the house. I have to do the tree and all the leaves and the birds. Birds won't take any more time, or won't take a whole lot of time. And then I have these 2 big pumpkins and all the little motifs to do. So, you know, a significant amount of work, but I love this. I love working on it. I think it's a great project. It's a great project. Let's see if I kept, I don't know what I'm doing that on. I may have it. No, I don't. I think I'm doing that on 36 count. I think that's what that is. I kind of wish I had done it on 32 count because I love it so much. I want it to be bigger. Okay. Oh, and so that's in my fall project bag. Starry Nights is in Christmas. This is a So Much to Love bag. I did last year. I did the monthly, the bag of the month, and this year I'm doing the buy every 2 months. I love her bags. Love her bags. This I'm not sure. I think I got this at at StitchCon. And it may be a Jan Calvert bag. I'm not sure, but I sure do love it. Oh, I may have gotten that at Julie's at Reflections. That may be a bag by one of her friends. Okay, in my another So Much to Love 4th of July Independence Day bag, I have. Okay, and in this bag, I have what I'm going to work on now, and then also my backup for when this is finished, because this won't take too long. I'm doing the Rovaris 1776. Rovaris doesn't really, she doesn't name her charts. And I loved this with the little watering can and the fence and the bunting and the way 1776 is written. It's kind of a big, I mean, it's a nice big chart. I don't want to show it to you, but so I can show you the back side. The whole chart is on this piece of paper. So it's a nice big chart. Only 3 colors. Yeah, just beautiful. And so here is my start on this. This I started during Stitch Mania, either 19 or 20. Speaking of that, I'm not going to do Stitch Mania. This is my Stitch Mania. This is my 2020 Mania. Yeah, I'm not. There's no need for me to do anything, start anything new, or no. And then my backup, which I have a little teeny tiny start, is going to be Plum Street Sampler Betsy's Stockings, which I love. I've done the Thanksgiving, the his and her Thanksgiving stockings, and I love them so much. And I did those on 40 count, and they're itty bitty. So I think I started these on a larger count. I did. Tiny little start. I don't even know. I think I started these during Stitch Mania in 18. But that'll be the next thing I do after I get the Rovaris piece done. Sorry, I really want to organize these and get them back in place before okay, another beautiful, beautiful So Much to Love bag. I love this. Cardinals. Now, this is kind of Christmassy, but I don't have Christmas in here. I have, because I thought this project needed a beautiful bag, I have Pink House Sampler, Plum Street. I worked on this really hard, I think the first half of this year, or of last year, and then haven't worked on it in a really long time. And that just makes me sad, and wait till you see. I have a lot done. I mean, the fact that this isn't finished. In fact, the house is finished. The words, I need to finish the words and add some tulips at the top, a deer and some trees, and finish the border. And then it's finished, so not much. I love this. Cannot wait to finish it. Cannot wait to finish it. So this will be my sampler. It's Pink House Sampler Mary Jane Carver. I haven't decided. Some people finished it and put different names in there, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. I would like to do that. My grandmothers, except for one, had all passed away by the time I was born, and so I don't have, I didn't have close grandmothers, but I do have a couple of aunts that I was close to, so that might be a thought. I think my backup, once Pink House is done, my next sampler, I'm thinking, will be Huckleberry Farm. I actually started on that this weekend. I'm not going to show it to you because I packed it away, and actually got some significant progress on it. So I think that will be my backup, but it's not for sure. Okay, then what's in here? Okay, Halloween is next, and I'm doing the Drawn Thread Simply Scary, and I love this. It's super cute. Pulled it because I had, again, a significant amount finished on it, and thought, you know what, I'm gonna just, it was a quick stitch. I dyed this fabric myself. This was a black bean dye. So, soaked my black beans for several hours, and then rinsed them and saved the rinse, and then dyed the fabric in that, and I love how it turned out. And that's Simply Scary, and look at how. And I would be further along except for last night. So last night Maddie and I were watching the latest, dumbest show, but kind of fun, the new Listen to Your Heart, the Bachelor music show. Anyway, I was getting into the show, and I stitched the X twice accidentally, so I had to take that out. But yeah, that's just a quick stitch. It only has 3 colors in it, orange, white, and black. Doing it in DMC. That will be done quickly, I think. And then the backup, I think I have 2 backups for Halloween, because I do have a ton of Halloween charts. One backup, sorry, I have these in the same bag. One is another Rivera's October 31. I love this. And this only has 2 colors, I think just the black and the orange in it. I love this fabric, I can tell you what it is. It's doubloon, 32 count doubloon. And this is my start. So this is October written sideways, which is has kind of a cool effect. I love those letters. So that'll be next. And then I have my next backup, which I actually started this weekend as well, is the chart that Colleen kitted up for me, and it's Abby Rose Designs. I don't know that I've ever done anything by Abby Rose before. I think I have a couple things, but I don't think I've done them. Abby Rose Designs My Pretties. I thought it was so cute, and I got a really good start on this weekend, I thought. Tree's almost finished. Sorry, this is so messy. Tree's almost finished. So I worked on that on Saturday while Maddie and I watched Station 19s that she had taped while she was in Australia. I mean, they taped here, but she was in Australia when she taped them. Or they taped while she was in Australia. And Station 19 and Grey's Anatomy, which we always watch together. Okay. Oops. Again, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep this really, really organized. Next up is my winter stitch. This was one. Okay, I had something else that I was quite a bit further on that I think is probably going to be one of my giveaways. I just lost complete interest in it. So I put that aside, and my winter stitch is going to be Heap on the Wood by Brenda Gervais. I absolutely love this. I think the colors are very interesting. Really, really soft, but just so interesting. And 2 houses. 2 topiaries. I love it. So, I didn't even look to see how far I was on this. I don't think I'm very far. I don't even remember working on this. Oh, yes, not very far, but look at that fabric. Wow, that's actually a little bit hard to see. So, not very far. Heap on the wood. The wind is chill, but let it whistle, or it will. Oh, as it will. We'll keep our Christmas merry still. This is really technically a Christmas one, but you know what? I would leave this up all year round. I mean, this is not overtly Christmas by any far stretch. That could also be considered a sampler. Yeah, because you know what? I can do what I want. I love that one. Okay, and that's just in a really boring bag. This must be my Christmas. No, there's so much to love. I love this one with the lace, the pretty lace here. Isn't it pretty? Oh, I was going to tell you about my hands. I'm so embarrassed. My nails were dipped. They've been dipped for probably a year and a half. 18 months, maybe longer. And I had them dipped right before all of this craziness started. And, you know, then salons closed. So Omaha is one of 5 states left to not have a shelter in place. So North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Arkansas, and I forget the 5th one, but there's a 5th state that does not have shelter in place. Although people are more or less sheltering in place, there is now a hot spot, I guess, in South Dakota. Anyway, I'm not going to go there because it's not even worth it. But anyway, nail salons closed. So most things are closed, even though we don't. And most people really are sheltering in place except to go to the grocery store or, you know, like critical doctor's appointments, that sort of thing. But when you dip your nails, it's really hard to get that stuff off. And they had grown out. And so I have been systematically removing them, the dipped, and these 2 are left, and I can't get it off, and it looks really bad, but anyway. Okay, this is Kringles. That's what I have in here, Kringles. And this is, again, just one that I'm going to work on just kind of here and there, maybe, should we say that? And I think this is exactly where it was last time you saw it, just the top of the little, what is that, a clock, like a clock tower. Or what would that be called? Like I would think this would be the kind of clock that he would, not a grandfather clock, what's that called? Why can't I think of it? I have one. Anyway, that's Kringles in there. Kringles was also in an ugly bag and I had to switch it around. Okay. I also want to have a car project. Now I always have a Mill Hill in my purse, but it's sometimes fun to work on a different one, and so, and not that we're in the car hardly ever anymore, but sometimes it's just nice to have a small Mill Hill that you can just pick up, stitch on perforated paper if you're tired at night or whatever, and so this Jim Shore Mill Hill. I actually collect some Jim Shore things, not a whole lot. Okay, that's everything. The last thing is my Redwork sampler that I'll have just in the works to work on whenever, and I chose Stacy Nash Primitives. What is this called? I don't even know. Oh, Harriet Brown Redwork Sampler Pin Keep. I think this is adorable. And again, I didn't look on this one. This one is done in, I am doing it in Carrie's Creations Old World Red. Old World Red. Actually, I have Old World Red and Old Salem Red, and they're very, very similar. Old Salem has a little bit more dark tone in it. Let's see if I can show you. Those are both Old World. This is Old Salem, but they're very similar. So I think those will be, yeah, I'm okay with them being different because it's supposed to look kind of old. I wish I could tell you what this is. This is a very lovely piece of fabric. Obviously, way too big of a piece. But here's my start on that. So, yeah, that should be an easy one. I think this is one that you stitch both sides of it and then you fold it in half. I think that's how this one works. I'm not sure. Not exactly sure. The chart is many pages. Okay, so that's going to be cross stitch, and that should be all I have to show you for the next several weeks. You know, I'll do this until I don't do it anymore. I don't know. We'll try it. We'll go from here. I also, kind of last thing, let me think where this came from. I was watching a podcast, or listening to a podcast that someone told me about, and now I can't remember what the name of the podcast is. And she talked about an Afghan pattern that was on Ravelry for like $5, where you use up your scraps. And I have a lot of yarn scraps, so I decided to do it. I went ahead and bought it. The proceeds are going to benefit, I think, an Australian nonprofit that's helping with COVID-19. Anyway, so I pulled some scraps when I was downstairs, some leftover, thought this would be a good starting point, and some needles, and I'm going to start working on that as well. I meant to bring up, and I'll bring up next week, I did start on the fingerless mitts, and it took me a couple times to get started. They're very tiny. It's beautiful, turning out beautifully, and going fine. So yeah, those should be knitted up here before too long. Haven't worked much on my sweater, but that's also going well. Of course, I'm just on the, kind of the back side, which is just all knitted. So not, that part's not going to be hard. When I get to the sleeves, that could be a whole nother thing. So anyway, I think that's about it. I'm hoping that, again, let me know if you're interested in these, how you feel about your stash currently. Mention Whirligig. I'll get those in the mail to you in the next week. And I'll have a different giveaway next time around. It'll probably be something that's already kitted up. Beyond that, I wish you all the best. Hope you're well. Hope you're healthy. Hope you're staying safe. Trying to think of all the things we say nowadays, huh? A little different. I hope you're enjoying some spring weather, and I'm looking forward to the time when we are. It's not right now, but it'll be here. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.